What's a fact about you that sounds completely unbelievable? I have seen my own intestine. Since somebody asked. Semi-truck blew a red light as I was pulling out of the hospital I worked at. The ED crew ran out, shoveled me off the asphalt, and ran me inside. If it had been anywhere else I'd have bled out before an ambulance arrived. It broke my left everything, including 10 ribs, many of which wound up in my lung, one of which is still unaccounted for. I was fortunate enough not to suffer any spinal damage, but I did lose my left leg below the knee. I've made a mostly full recovery, less the.leg and significant lung functionality. If you think about how a grape splits open when you squeeze it too hard, you'll have the right idea. A Victoria's Secret model married me. I wrote a song that was played on the radio for years. I won a college bowl game. All of the above is true, but not nearly as impressive as it sounds. She was a catalog model, not the runway type. We were young. She was pretty damn amazing. I was 12 and got a keyboard for Christmas. I called the Friday night request DJ in my podunk town and told him I wrote him a song. He recorded it and opened his show with it for years because it was so campy. It was a community college bowl game. Impressive nonetheless. 2 teenagers were locked out of their car and I had nothing in my car to use. So I got it open using a tree branch to hit the unlock button on the key ring. On the ground of the passenger's side floorboard. They called me MacGyver. Best compliment of my life. Reminds of the time I went home back from the army. Not the American army. And wanted to take the bus home in my home city. I just missed the bus. The driver and the passengers saw me running and just started to drive away. So I took another bus that will intercept the first bus later on. It took a different route. So my bus got to the other station just 20 seconds before the first bus got there. The bus stops. I get on it and these 2 teenagers just stare at me. Then one of them asks me, "Are you Superman?" Quote, "That was a nice feeling." And I got home 15 minutes later. Which was even better. Why the hell would Superman take the bus? You don't expect Superman to own a private car, do you? It's not as environmental friendly as public transportation. Duh. I often have to poop up to 6 times in a day. I don't know, WTF is wrong with me. Looks like we're starting off strong, people. I have 3 wisdom teeth and no appendix. Apparently my body just forgot to grow them. You are not *Homo sapiens *. You are *Homo superior * identified by your lack of superfluous organs. We must make weight for you're the start of the coming race. The earth is a bitch. We've finished our news. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers came today. And looks as though they're here to stay. I have somehow survived so many respiratory illnesses, including a collapsed lung, and shit that I should 100% be dead. Somehow, my ass keeps living. Another really inspiring story. I'll have to tell my mom about it. She has really bad asthma and needs some hope sometimes. I have never been inside a McDonald's, Burger King or a Wendy's in my life, and I am 24 and I live in the USA. This is literally one of the most unbelievable things on this question. I believe the medical problems on here and the stories because my dad has been brought back to life before himself, but the fact that someone in America has never been to McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King. Crazy. Kind of sad when an extreme medical emergency is more believable than someone not going to a fast food restaurant. Thanks for the surprisingly thought-provoking answer. Yeah lol, I am being 100% honest. I went from homeless drug addict to a director position at a tech company in a span of 15 years. I've been shot twice by the same guy, 10 years apart, been robbed at gunpoint by police in Mexico, stabbed, tear-gassed, and I once partied with Anthony Kiedis. Well, on the bright side, you now have a shit ton of interesting stories to tell people. Not many people experience as much in life as you. Well, I'm also old. Chevy Chase was drunk driving up my street, crashed into my house, and completely ran over and destroyed my mailbox. After a conversation with his wife, who was extremely nice and apologetic, I walked up the street to meet Chevy personally, and he gave me a $750 check to pay for a new mailbox that in reality cost about $14 to replace. What about the part where he crashed into your house? In my head, I'm picturing this happening with the family truckster. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II almost ran me over driving a battered Land Rover of Lord Lichfield's estate in Staffordshire. If she did, I'm sure it would have been swiftly covered up. I died once. Most people die once, that doesn't make you special. We'll talk again when he has died twice. Did you live? He dead, sad face. Only gonna say a little. I have no memory of it until I came out of a month coma. What hurt after that was learning to move myself around again. Still can't do it well, even after 15 years. Hence my comment on theory, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No, it damned well didn't. To be fair, it did kill you though, so does the proverb really apply? Winking face. I was born with a birth defect and had 1 ear. So technically I'm a half-elf. Did you take up archery at any point? Unfortunately my eyesight is of an 80-year-old human, sad face. I won a silver medal in archery at an affiliated offshoot of the Olympics. I had sex before I discovered what masturbation was. I can't help but think this is technically true for pretty much all sexually abused kids. You okay? Yeah man. I found porn quite early, so I knew pretty much everything about sex at like age 12. And then I think I had sex at like age 13. I thought the only way to come was by having sex. By the time I was almost 14, I found out via my friends that there was something called jerking off. I was super excited to get home and beat one off whenever I wanted. How the fuck and who the fuck? Edit. Well, 50 upvotes in a day? I didn't think this would ever happen. And that is how I came to hate the priest. I'm missing 3.5 ribs. Found Marilyn Manson. How did this rumor spread so far? I've never met anyone who didn't hear it at like the age of 11. I heard it with Michael Jackson. I'm an albino Mexican fraternal twin. I have no sense of orientation at all. Every single time I cross the street or follow a road in any direction, if take a turn, I get lost. Every street is completely new to me every time. Even though I lived in the same city for 36 years, I get lost at least 2 or 3 times a day. My mother had the same. She always had to use a compass and a map and ask directions every turn. I have Google Maps, haha, luckily for me. Ah, I didn't know you used Reddit, Grandma. I was my dad's 30th birthday gift. Born the same day, exactly 30 years apart. I was born blind, but now I'm a pretty successful painter. I ate my twin in my mother's womb. Chong. El tigre tu cabron. It's fucking raw? There can only be one. I'm English and I don't like tea. Exclamation mark. Sacrilege! Exclamation mark. Blasphemy! Exclamation mark. I was born without tonsils or an appendix. You are not asterisk Homo sapiens asterisk. You are asterisk Homo superior asterisk identified by your lack of superfluous organs. We must make weight for you're the start of the coming race. The earth is a bitch. We've finished our news. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. All the strangers came today, and looks as though they're here to stay. I think I stole your appendix. Mine regrew and became inflamed again after my appendectomy. I am 15 and have flown a plane. Same, but I was 13 when I first flew one. Well, I had my Legoland driver's license by age 7. One of my toenails grows diagonally. I have no idea why, how, or when it started. Really interesting. Do you have to maintain it a lot? No more than the rest of my nails. It's not hurting anything or anything like that. The white part is just angled right at like a 45-degree angle. The keel of my own fan surfboard stabbed my thigh after a big wave. If it had hit any other part, I'd probably have serious problems or death. If it had hit my torso or head. 13 years old. 13 stitches. I have connections to famous people despite coming from a poor background. I'm related to a world-famous author. Had family connections. Not blood. To a rock star. Had family working on movie sets. Etc. If I ever bring it up it kinda sounds unbelievable. I battled drug addiction, gambling addiction, extreme debt-income ratios. Been married, divorced, very shortly, still getting finalized, have 2 beautiful girls, 5 and 3 months. I weighed 102 kilograms at my heaviest, down to 69 kilograms in 3 months via not particularly healthy diet change. Owned 40 plus different cars. Been a retail store to IC, a bar manager, a small business owner, currently working as a shot firer, mining explosives operator, currently writing a course to train people to do said job, and a work of fiction hoping to be published. Probably missed a few bits and pieces. Only 27 years old. Well shit, I just masturbate a lot and play video games. That too. See, I missed bits. One of my pupils is bigger than the other. You're a teacher. Haha, no. Still a virgin. I know. With all my good looks. I was a virgin until I was 34, a combination of only being interested in a few men over that time, and having only a few men interested in me, with no Venn diagram overlap. I was a practicing Christian too, so felt no real incentive to escalate things. It ended when a casual friendship of 5 years developed into something more. Currently together for 11 years. Married for 5. He still thinks I'm sexy as fuck. Quite bold of you to assume that you look good. What are you saying? That I actually look ugly? Nonsense. You are a very handsome boy, told a grandma. I had 2 international, 1 national and 1 state level award in 2 different fields before I turned 18. I've died twice, second time was dead nearly 20 minutes and suffered minimal brain damage. I can change my eye color between brown and green at will. Takes a minute but I can. Wow, so interesting. My sister apparently had her eyes change multiple colors while we were growing up. Both of my parents remember that. You should post a video of that on YouTube sometime. If might get views. I might just. I have choked under pressure before when people wanted to see, but I'm sure I could hone it more with practice. My tongue had been inside more asses than my dick. Well yeah, I mean 1 is more than 0. I would have kept going but your mom farted and it ruined the whole fetish for me. I can dislocate my entire right hand at the wrist. Does it hurt? No. It's like popping a knuckle. Just a weird, but very dulled, pop. Except it looks like my arm is broken because the hand is a centimeter or 2 to one side. Side note. Why doesn't Reddit know the word centimeter? My Reddit highlights centimeter, but not centimeter. But it also highlights Reddit, so it's just silly. TBH, highlighting might be browser side thing. Not sure. The late Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, punched me square in the left eye in the ring at a Legends Wrestling event in 2002. I had to stand in as a referee at the last minute and I had no fucking clue what I was doing. Apparently I was looking the wrong way and he didn't like that. So I got hit. I have never seen a Star Wars movie. Have no concept of how or what it is all about, but just know that this is somehow a popular movie. I can blow myself but I didn't like, so now I really know that I'm not gay. You're wasting the powers another man needs. Yeah, sucking your own dick feels more like sucking dick than having your dick sucked. A horse fell on top of me and I broke 0 bones, and then rode that horse home. Was the horse okay? I recently farted so violently that it was a full sea rumbler that no lie lasted for like 10 to 15 seconds straight with no cutouts whatsoever. It was so intense that I was legit lightheaded after and had to regain my composure. I disarmed a group of hardcore German neo-Nazis with nothing but friendliness. Are you a shonen protagonist? Talk no jutsu is real. I was hoping you were going to say mad dance skills and shirtlessness. I have long kidneys, found out in scan trying to find out something else. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.